Nice. I mean, nice intro. Welcome to the show.
Wait, I didn't mute that. Hey, bro, this is real. This is real talk around here.
Real
dude.
life.
This isn't. There's no pre-production.
Hashtag no filter.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
post.
We got nothing.
No post production.
This is all live to us as well. Yeah, there's nothing. You're lucky we got a light on. You're lucky we got cameras. That's what we're gonna do. One show. Just put our still pictures up there, and how many people tell us, "Bro, you're frozen. You're frozen."
Actually, the show might be better. We might be better off.
Hey, Ricky, we got to get you a T-shirt, man. Hit me up with your address, brother. Get y'all some T-shirts out that way.
Look, we threw them off. We were 3 minutes early. We threw everybody off.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what is this? On time? On time?" Going on, Warren. Going on, Travi. I don't know. What'd y'all do today? Did anybody do anything cool today?
No,
me neither. Dave, you did anything cool today?
No, not really. I blew up a fluke meter at work, but that's about it.
That's pretty cool.
What's a eBay Chinese knockoff brand for flute? Is there one? There's got to be one.
Not that I know of. And I mean, I have.
How is it possible?
What's going on, Robbie?
No, flukes protected. Their patent technology is really. I mean, they're patent protected, obviously, but companies like mine, a quality lab, like to use that meter in my facility, it has to be sent back to Fluke every 6 months and be recalibrated, tested. And there's special equipment that they use for those meters to do that. So, like an amp probe, I can calibrate right here on my table, but a Fluke, I can't do that.
I don't like that. I don't like them having the monopoly on the amazing meters. I need somebody to copy that immediately. China, get on that.
Oh, there's got to be a brand that's pretty solid, like not a fluke, not a fluke, knockoff, but a cheaper brand that is also good.
No, but I don't want that.
I've had a lot of luck with amp probe. I mean, they're a good bit cheaper and they work.
Is that AMPRO or AMMPRO? So I feel like I've seen those.
Something like that,
yeah.
I still have a multimeter with a needle.
Oh, analog. Hey, if it works, I mean we use those in school and it works.
I'm gonna start making videos showing my battery drops with the fucking needle. What? Why don't somebody make one of those? Somebody make a voltmeter with a needle in the dash, like an OEM one, but like that's super stupid fast.
Those VU meters? Those are fantastic. They're expensive as shit. That's why.
I don't know what VU is. Field piece. I never heard of them. Yeah, whatever Lowe's sells is probably the best. Just saying. To fade. You like Home Depot? Yeah, true.
I think every single person in this chat, and then has started with that red box.
Oh yeah.
One with the on-off switch.
Oh, yeah, the Harbor Freight one.
Super cheap. Yeah, it's like $5 or something. Yeah. Like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, one of the mechanics at our work still has one of those.
They're like, they're not the worst thing in the world for just checking voltage. But that's about as good as all they're good for.
I have some Amazon like 39 on one or something. I looked up all kind of reviews on Amazon. I mean, on YouTube, and everybody swears they're like good for the price. I don't know. It's better than my Craftsman. That's all I got.
I don't know. That Craftsman I have had for, I don't know, coming on 20 years now. That thing is a beast. I think I gave like $60 for it 20 years ago.
Jesus.
And it's AC, DC, and it's like, I prefer, when I go to reach for a meter hanging up on the wall, I go right past the Flukes and grab that Craftsman every time.
Wealth. What's going on, David?
You see it. Not much going on today.
There you go. So this is David Dinn, and when did you start going on the Facebook groups? I haven't seen you all the time, but I started seeing you like with all this lithium buzz pop up.
I kind of try to. I'm not in a whole lot of audio groups. I'm only in one battery group. The battery group I'm in the admin of. Been in that one since late 2018. I dabbled in a few others for a short period of time, but I don't know, man. I don't really. There's a lot of crap, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff that I try to stay away from. I put zero effort into any type of marketing. I don't do this. I do this. I mean, just to do it, more or less. It's a hobby more than anything. So I don't have to go out there and keep trying to sell these things, man. I turnaround time on a battery is like 2 weeks, and it's endless. I haven't stopped since the end of 2018, early 2019. So every 2 weeks, at least one battery. I have no desire to do any more than that because, like I said, I'm doing this stuff on myself. So there's no need to.
Is it the same battery every time, or is it custom, or what? What is? I'm sorry, I'm not super familiar with your business model.
It's all right. It's usually different each time. I use 2 different cells. I try to stick to EH4, EH5s mostly. When the protos were around, we did a lot of proto cells. Sold some loose ones for a short period of time.
And is that's Honda? That comes out of a Honda?
The EH4s, EH5s come out of the Honda, yeah.
All right. Like what would it come out of? The what's that stupid one? The Insight? Is that what it comes out of, or are there newer ones?
The EH4, EH5 comes out of a hybrid only. So the Accord,
Civic.
Yeah, the Civic, CRZ. It just depends. There's a 40 cell module and 40 cell traction unit, 72 cell traction unit. They only made them for about 4 years, and then they switched to a welded cell. The cells are welded together; they don't have studs on them. And then the Insight is a newer car, 2019 newer. It's got the gray cell. Now that cell is not made by the same company as the EH4, EH5. EH4, EH5, EHW5, EH19 was all made by Blue Energy, which was like 51% owned by Honda or some crap. They dropped Blue Energy and partnered with Panasonic sometime in 2018, 2019. So the 2019 Honda Insight cell that everybody's been, building with, buying, whatever, is actually made by Panasonic. Is very, very similar to the C-Max cell, which is newer. The only physical difference you'll see is obviously the membrane, the wrap, the green. The Insight cell is a clear membrane on it, and then the stud length is slightly different. The C-Max has like a couple millimeter lead into the threads, where the Insight cell doesn't have that. The Insight cells are typically going to be in better condition, obviously being out of a newer vehicle, 2019, 2020. Volkswagen has a variant of it too. I know there's been some discussion, is the word I'll use, on what Volkswagen used in Sanyo versus Panasonic. All I can say is Google.
There is so much misinformation and just don't know isms out there. It's all a lot of guesswork, and only a few, I guess, know it, and then they just get trounced by the guys that don't know and just say, no, there's no way that's it. It's in this, it's in that. I see that all the time. It's so crazy.
It can get kind of hectic, man. A lot of people, they want information. Some of them want it so they can build their own stuff, and others want it so they can start their own business. I mean, it's
yeah, that's a crazy
go down here, but I started doing machine work, this custom one-off bus bars, fuse blocks. Just I had a mill, a Bridgeport, and a small CNC I had access to that I can make smaller crap on. Typically for a couple guys I'm I guess, on my team, sort of say. William Boyles, Nathan Holtz, those two mostly make odds and ends things for them. But
Fade got blue screen by Windows. He'll be back.
Blue screen death.
Yeah. So what is your background? Like, how did you get into this lithium craze?
Yeah, like I was telling you before, my background is industrial maintenance, industrial electronics. I'm industrial maintenance technician for about 18 years. So the troubleshooting there, PLC programming and all that kind of is where I get my low voltage stuff from, like DC voltage stuff from. Essentially have a bachelor's degree in electronics, certified industrial electrical instrumentation technician, controls engineer currently. So it's just electricity, man.
That's all it is.
Like we talked about before. Right. So, I got out of audio for what? In fact, when I first, I don't know, I was probably 15 or 16. One of my first real jobs was in an install bay in Middletown, Ohio, called Radio Works. They were install bay for Cadence, a local Cadence dealer called Fletcher's Car Audio, and that's kind of where I started learning about Ohm's law and crap like that. But at the same time, my family owned a roller coaster business, and so I had access to my own machine shop, so I could learn. My dad taught me how to weld when I was real young.
Your family owned a roller coaster business?
Yeah, it was called Custom Coasters International.
Like built them?
Yeah, wood rides, just wood coasters.
Oh, wooden ones? Like, wait, the whole thing, or like the cart?
The entire thing. The entire thing.
If I wanted a roller coaster in my backyard, just the whole setup, y'all was the one to call?
Pretty much, yeah.
This is gonna be a separate show altogether.
It started. My grandpa started it. I don't know, in the mid 70s. It was Dinn Corporation at the time, and you can Google this stuff too and check it out. It's pretty cool. It shows all the different rides we built. He turned it over to my aunt in '96 and turned it into Custom Coasters International. Then we got a couple satellite companies that we own too, like CJ Machine, Tough Cases, Westchester Machine.
I have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I grew up in a machine shop, more or less, and it kind of went from doing the audio stuff to building hot rods to back to audio stuff again to back to building hot rods again. I still got a hot rod now, which is kind of take precedence over building something big audio, whatever.
Man.
I've never been a fan of wood. Like, I can't stand, I absolutely despise working with wood. I don't like building boxes unless I have to. I can. I've done it a few times, but I don't care for it.
Yeah, wood sucks. It's a living creature. Like, it's annoying. You never know when a split is going to happen. I hate it.
Well, it's kind of, it's odd because my family's, wood roller coasters. They're all carpenters, and I grew up around this stuff. But
right.
I didn't have any part of it. I was in the weld shop my whole life, machine shop. So. But that's kind of where.
So what transitioned from the install bay Cadence dealer to, I don't know, I guess around now?
Well, my aunt closed that company up in 2001, which was right about I was right about to graduate high school. Ended up dropping out of high school and get my GED, and then kind of trying to find work. I ended up in a plant, meat processing facility in Fairfield, Ohio, called Cook Foods. And I kind of was taken in as like an apprentice maintenance tech. And they hired me because I could TIG weld stainless steel at the time, basically. And that's kind of where I started. And I knew some about Ohm's law from working, doing install stuff. And that's kind of where my industrial maintenance career took off. And this is kind of where it stayed. Worked there for, 8-something years, and then went back to college. And ended up in automotive industry, working on CNC equipment and robotics.
I was muted. So you're not super big into the audio scene ish. You just have the I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But you're more interested into the electrical side of it all.
Yeah, so like more amplifier tuning. I mean, I do speaker recones. My wife used to work at Parts Express, so we do some home audio installs, stuff like that. Basic speaker repairs, amplifier repairs, any type of electronics work. Not just car audio, but and I don't know. It didn't matter if it was somebody down the street that needed just a basic 250 watt amp and some door speakers installed, or a wall build, or it didn't matter to me. If they just needed the amplifiers tuned, or they just needed some relays installed, or they needed help putting an alternator in, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know, man. I don't really have this urge to build these giant setups. Some of it's cool. To be honest with you, I don't even like getting in some of these vehicles, man. Like my buddy Williams got some nasty stuff, and I can only tolerate it for about 30 seconds. I'm done.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, some of these guys nowadays is just this next level stuff.
We did that Blazer with the 415s. I mean, I did I fabricated the stripper pole. I pulled fixed some of the cable runs, some of the woodwork in the back, built fuse blocks for it, built a battery for it, things like that. It's just, and then he did speakers, the amps, stuff like that. So, I mean, then the Dodge Charger we did the whole box here in my driveway, cut the car up here in my driveway. I mean,
So you were telling me your first intro into the lithium car audio thing was your friend's van?
Yeah, I did that. I don't know if you probably remember or not, but it was a big Crossfire build. They called it the Murder Express, whatever. And that was the first time I had really seen any of the latest car audio lithium batteries. This was early 2018. And he bought the green packs, like we talked about, and then the matching bus bars. Mm-hmm. And I did the amp tuning. So we did the first fire up on the vehicle, some shakedowns, and then did the gain matching on the amp, and then doing some final tuning on it. And for what space was taken up versus what it was doing was fantastic. But
right,
I do know that he paid a lot of money for that stuff. It was not cheap. And he also paid for the recase. But for whatever reason,
the black ones.
Yes, the recase it into the black 80, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't happen. And that's when I actually created my own recase design for those green cells then because of that. But we never really did anything with it. And then because of what he paid for all that, we started kind of looking into some of the headway stuff at the time. And then
how did you find the headway stuff? You just searching Google or searching
Facebook
groups? Yeah, you just Google like lithium cells?
No, well,
like have you heard of headway?
Some of this information it's just searching the internet, and like Google, I guess, is one of them you could use. Trying to understand the chemistries, and then trying to find a cell that you can do something with, like a cell that's got studs on it or female threads. I can machine a bar for that pretty easy. Versus a cell that's got nothing, you're gonna have to buy a spot welder, whatever, try to solder to it if that's even possible in some of these cells. And then you start researching lithium batteries and hybrid vehicle packs, and get some of these things open and you start seeing what the cells look like and what you can potentially do with them. And then built a couple of the headway packs. I believe I bought those first headway cells from a company called EV Components or something like that. They were expensive as hell and took forever to get. We bought a few of them just to kind of play around with. Built a little 16 amp hour pack, ran it in parallel with the AGM we had in the Dodge, and ran that car at Slammin' for Soldiers in 2018, along with an 80 amp hour unit I built and put in my truck. And it did okay. I mean, it was significantly better than hundreds of pounds of AGM that we had before. But I fought with those cells staying balanced and cells randomly dying and cells leaking and cells showing up with the threads crooked, cells showing up different lengths. You can fathom how that's not going to work well when you've got inch-thick aluminum bars tying all the cells together. If one is shorter than the rest of them, you got to torque the bolts down. You're going to pull on the stud.
Right.
And that kind of, I got into it, started doing some laser etching on the cases. I'd slam panned Zachary cut me some acrylic end plates for some cases with some Joker, Harley Quinn themed stuff. LEDs inside of the cases, bus bars in copper, bus bars in aluminum, trying different configurations to get the most efficiency out of the headway cells. And I don't know, it's for the time, I guess it was all right, but it didn't take very long for us to start finding other stuff.
Yeah. It seems like that was everybody's first intro into lithium is those. Like you could buy them. You probably still can buy them on eBay, you know?
Yeah, you're hard to problem I ran into with them is you started getting these like Chinese cell traders popping up in the groups and whatnot, and talking about being able to get headway. So when I first bought the first ones, the only place I knew of that you could buy them from was at EV Components. They were like $16 or $20 a cell, and it took like 3 months to get them. And then you started getting these Chinese cell traders popping up, like, we can get them for $13 a piece or $14 a piece. They show up, and you've got cells made in 2015, cells made in 2017, and the outer wrap, the date on it not matching the inner case. Like I said, the threads cut crooked, cells different lengths. You capacity test one at 8 amp hour, another one at 7 amp hour, and it's just, they're all over the place. But every one of them claim they're brand new cells. Every one of them. So
yeah. Don't you dare talk bad about Lisa Wong.
It goes back to what I said before. I mean, that's what you got to do to sell shit. I mean,
yes, sir. You need a discount code.
Yeah. I mean, just remember what you say, because it's going to come back. People are going to remember that stuff. They may have screenshots or, a whole thumb drive full of screenshots. Who knows?
So, all right. So headway came in, boom. Then what was your next iteration into lithium? Like, what is the next step up for you after that?
That's when the headway went from the headway straight to EH5 cells.
Damn. And you skipped right over the C-Max buzz?
I never really, and to this day, I have never built a C-Max battery.
Damn, there's no way.
I've taken one module apart, and that's it.
Jeez.
I've had some loose ones sent to me so I could test them, run some capacity and resistance tests on, load tests on. I got 2 modules recently that I got pretty cheap. It worked out of the deal. I traded a North Star and some cash and whatnot for them. I took one of the modules apart and was going to build a 45 with it, but decided not to. I've built one battery using those Honda Insight cells. That's it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I know Veach was coming in pretty hard at the time with those. I didn't know anybody else that was really fooling them. Hank Veach, Andrew McShane was building with those.
Hey, once them fires started happening, they jumped out of there quick. Did you see him? We had him on the show when it was like, I don't know, we did something like C-Max versus Ying Long crap, because that was the big buzz at the time, and he kept on saying, "Well, I don't sell C-Max. I don't sell C-Max anymore." I don't hear you, Fade. You're muted. No, I don't hear you. He's like, I don't sell C-Max anymore, even though he had his whole fucking page Vicium.
I got my own opinions on the fires.
Is it all user error? Be honest.
Well, the first thing you gotta remember, I mean, just when you have the cells in your hand, you look at the terminals on them where the stud's attached to the cell, right?
Yeah.
It's got this little terminal. It's like paper thin.
Yeah. I have a 15. I have a 15 and a 45 amp. I use it all the time but I don't use it the same way other people. I use it like as a burp battery almost. I'll charge it up, burp, and then leave it alone, you know?
Yeah. I mean, as long as
it's so, like you said, it's so thin what they bolt down to. It's crazy.
Right.
I have a couple that are bent, but I mean, it's still, we keep it moving, you know? I don't have it in my car for long, so. But yeah, what's the opinion on the burn downs?
You gotta. That's the biggest thing right there is when you start busting a bunch of them in parallel, and you got to make sure the bars slip on real easy. You're not side loading those studs. Mm-hmm. What happens when you torque those nuts down, and so you got a bus bar that the hole is fairly large on, you'll start to deform that little tab. That tab is your conductor. That tab contacting the bottom of the bar is the conductor, not the stud, not the nut. Mm-hmm. So if you've deformed that tab, you've reduced that contact area. And you do that across a bunch of different cells in one row, you've created a resistance difference across the series string. So unless you're watching the voltage of each row in that series string, you're not going to know that one's sagging like a butter and the other ones are not. Mm-hmm. Then you're applying 100 amps, 200 amps, 300 amps of recharge on that.
Right.
And you're going to drive that imbalance harder and harder and harder and harder. And before you know it, one or more rows is overcharging like crazy because of that imbalance. Mm-hmm. A balancer is not going to keep up with 100 amps, 200 amps of charging. It's not going to happen. So that's where most people have failures. And if you look at some of these packs that swell up, you might notice that only one row is swelling up or two rows is swelling up, right? It's not all four. And that's simply because that imbalance got so bad that those one or two rows overcharged and the other ones didn't, thus causing them to expand. I haven't had any of them expand, and I've had them so hot that you could smell them. I mean, they were hot. But again, we were watching variation during the entire pull. So both on the discharge and the recharge. There's a lot of C rates thrown around. What a cell can do, it's 10C or 20C, 40C, whatever. And I don't think they either don't fully understand that C rate is at a certain voltage. Take the headway, for example. A lot of claim 25C on those cells. What they don't know is that's 25C at 2 volts. So in series, that's only 8 volts. So you're not going to get 25C out of that cell and see 12 volts or 13 volts and see 4 in series.
Right.
And the same thing goes with any other cell. And that's why when I do load tests, I'll start. Say if I did a C-Max and 4S, I'll start at 15.5 and pull it to 13.0 and then stop. I mean, I don't really have to go any lower than that for any reason. Stop the load, let it rebound, and see what it rebounds to. I can do that over and over again, and there'll be a voltage offset with each hit, but you're not just hammering the cell down to nothing. You know, you're not just going to keep loading the heat up, because ohmmetric heating plays a factor in the internal resistance, and then it just kind of snowballs. Then they'll discharge the things way down low. Like, most don't even know to check for parasitic draw in their vehicle. So they'll let the thing sit overnight, and it might drop 2 volts because they've got amps staying on, or meters staying on, phone chargers staying on, or whatever. And they'll come out and start their vehicle up.
Yes.
Now that alternator's full tilt.
Start whining.
Yeah, right. And without knowing what the pack variation is, you have no idea if one row is out of balance or whatnot. And it can get ugly pretty quick. It might be okay once, might be okay twice, might be okay 3 times. But you're doing this every day, multiple times a day, for weeks on end, months on end. Something's going to happen eventually.
So where does every time I see an issue with them, I always see the first answer is you gotta compress them. Where does that fall into all of this?
You do. I mean, the design of the cell does require plate compression. When the cell's brand new, it's not puffy. It's not. And those who've worked with the newer Honda Insight cell know that when you take them out of the module, there's no springiness to the module, really. I mean, they're a tight cell. So in that scenario, you're more or less looking for retention than you are compression. Some of the older CMAX modules, you might, when you pop them apart, I think they kind of puff a little bit. So you'll have to kind of squeeze them back to get the original stud spacing again. But more or less, the cell's designed to blow a vent instead of swell up. So you might see on some traction units, not with CMAX per se, but others will have a duct over the vent. So if the cells do vent below their caps, it vents that gas outside of the vehicle. The CMAX cells have that same vent on them. So, yeah, I mean, they should be compressed enough and retained enough that if they do have a failure, they blow the vent and gas out instead of swelling up and turning into balloons. But CMAX isn't the only cell that'll do that. I've got protos here that are somewhat puffy. Seen skibs do it. Other cells with thicker shells on them will blow the vent instead of swell up. The EH5, I've seen swell up. EH5, EH4, EH5, EHW5, EH19 all have a lot thicker cell body or shell. I have tormented the crap out of those cells to where I was cooking the membrane off of them, and they didn't swell up. And then even overcharged the crap out of one and then shot it with a pellet gun to see if it would, flame up or anything crazy. It gassed out. I mean, as you would expect, it gassed out, but smoked, no flame, and it didn't swell up. And I've yet to get one to pop a vent either. So I don't know. They usually the 2 that I tried to get to do it usually just die. They overcharge the crap out of them, they get hot, and then they just die. They go to check voltage on them and it's 0 volts. So, I think I lost your audio.
I always do this, man. It's like my first time. So ridiculous. All right, so the ones you see that do like this, like if they were compressed, they still would keep it moving, or there still would be a huge issue.
There would still be an issue. I mean, it would either do that, like you said, or it would blow the vents on them, and they gas out. That gas would have to escape. And
you think that's mostly always due to like too much like input amperage or something?
99.9% of the time, it's simply a balance problem. It's going to be an imbalance problem.
But that doesn't mean the balancer would have saved it.
No. No, that's another misconception that many have with these balancers is I mean, the cap type ones are what, 5 amps, 6 amps. The QNDBMs that I use are 10 amps. HAO2, 10 amps. How's that going to keep up with an alternator charging 100 amps, 200 amps? Or how's that going to keep up with your amp pulling 1,000 amps on the bank? It's not going to. It's going to work when everything's stopped, not running.
So is that mainly for just storage?
Yeah, I mean, it's most of the time you should always build that thing with the intent of the balancer is just going to idle, right? I mean, you want to group your cells and your rows and all that to where the resistance is even across all 4, and then load the thing and watch the voltage of each pack. The thing should stay perfectly balanced on its own. If the cells all match, there should be no sagging in one row. There should not be sagging in 2 rows. It should all discharge and recharge together. And the balancer's there just to handle small variations that occur over long periods of time. I mean, it's all it can handle, especially on a big ass battery, right? And I think many forget that, or they don't fully understand that. I mean, we do these load tests and show variation, showing that the battery's staying balanced within 10 millivolts at stupid high discharge and recharge rates. A balancer isn't going to, like I said, it's not going to keep up with your alternator. It's not going to keep up with the huge demand of your amps and whatnot.
Right.
So, I mean, if you go to, and that's why I keep telling people to push these JST harnesses and these little cell meters like the ISDT8S, or even just the 4 volt meters that you can put on each row to randomly check variation. And if you load the thing, you can use your amplifier as a load, or you can use one of these cheap carbon pile load testers, doesn't matter. Apply a load to the battery and watch variation without the balancer plugged into it. And if you see that all 4 rows are staying perfectly balanced on their own, it's good. If you don't, you see one sagging, then you know you need to go to that row and try to figure out what's going on, because that's going to show its head in an extreme condition quickly. It doesn't matter what cells they are, where they came from, it doesn't matter. And if you got cells that vary in health, you can group them to get the most out of it. If it's like, say you got the 60 in-longs in series, well, if those cells don't match, you're going to fight balance problems. This is just going to happen.
Right.
If you've got 12 of them, you can kind of mix and match to get the resistance even across all 6 series, and then you reduce your balance problem. It's not ideal, but I mean, if that's all you can do, or you can't get replacement cells, then that'll work.
Right. So what do you think, what's the one thing people don't know about lithium, like that's probably the biggest like downfall of the DIY guy, you know, the guy that's trying to come in that says he doesn't want to spend money on the big stuff, you know, the pre-made stuff, but he doesn't know enough to like actually do it, but still tries to do it?
Understanding series voltage variation, I would say that's going to be the number one thing, in my opinion. It's something I missed early on, even though I had a display mounted on my dash, and I'm seeing these numbers in real time and seeing that they were different. I'm like, oh, well, that's normal, right? It's okay to be like that. And I found out pretty quick that no, it's not the case. I think that it doesn't, because knowing that, it doesn't matter what cells you're using. It doesn't matter where they came from, how you have them configured. It doesn't matter. Understanding that variation per row is going to make or break the unit, because that voltage, the total voltage of that unit under load or charging, is dependent on the voltage of each series string or each series row. So if one is sagging, it brings the whole unit down. If 2 are sagging, it brings the whole thing down, and vice versa. So I would say that's the biggest thing. is understanding that.
So just check every cell if you have the opportunity to.
Yes, when it's bust in series.
Oh, okay, got you. Jeez.
So that's going to be the biggest, ideally you want to do it under load. So, if you got like a 40 hertz test tone or any test tone, you can put on, you can start turning it up and pulling amperage from the battery. Because that's usually when a weak cell is going to show its head, or a bad connection is going to show its head. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a 2S configuration, 4S configuration, 10S. Doesn't matter if it's Yinlong. It doesn't matter if it's headway. It doesn't matter if it's EH5. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if the silver spot welded together. It doesn't matter if it's aluminum bars. It doesn't matter. Have to understand that the cells need to discharge and recharge together. And if they don't, there's a problem.
Right. Is there any chemistry currently right now or in like the near future that you see somebody can just drop in a stock vehicle and run it, or they always have to take the battery out right now?
I'm not real up on the times with the latest chemistries. I see a lot of stuff that people talk about in the EV world. A lot of the EVs are going up to higher voltage stuff, 900 volt packs and whatnot.
Jesus.
The rumor of solid state batteries and whatever. But right now, NMC is used in majority of, this is the most widely used chemistry in EVs and plug-in EVs in the world. I know there's some that hit on Lido a little bit. I had some hybrid packs or some test packs from a Hummer that was tested by the military that were 20 amp hour skib cells from like 2010 or 2012, I think they were. But I've yet to see a production vehicle with Lido in it. Mm-hmm. I've got some LiFePO 4 units here that were designed to be like drop-in replacements for lead in hybrid cars as a starting battery. Mm-hmm. They were tested in minivans, I think. A123 Systems makes the units or made the units. And they are awesome. But again, you would have to take the lead out and put these in. Mm-hmm. It's a direct replacement. The case looks just like a Group 65, AGM battery. But yeah, you couldn't, the AGM would hinder it.
Right.
It could be mounted. They were tested under hood. I think they were tested in the minivans and in the hybrid cars, but that's a 4-cylinder engine. And I did some thermal testing in my truck with a 5-liter Ford engine. And there's no way I would put that under the hood of my truck. It's just too hot, especially in the summertime. Because of that big of a difference between vehicles, I just don't put them under hood. Just put them in the back.
Right. I see you take a lot of like the pre-built stuff and take them apart. Is that like one of your favorite things to dig into, just to see what's going on?
It's not really,
or show people what's behind the curtains or something.
Yeah, who else does that?
Right, that's what I mean.
Who else is doing that?
Nobody.
I don't know about you, but if I buy something, it's mine to do whatever I want to with, right?
Right.
I want to know what's in it. I don't think that I've been, unfair in my opinions about the units that I opened up. Mm-hmm. The ones I opened up that I thought I could make improvements to, I did. The ones I couldn't or didn't see any reason to change or fuck with, really, I put it back together and sent it out of you. But for whatever reason, that gets people's jimmies fired up, I guess.
Is that why you said they got a lot of people trying to silence you out there?
Yeah, there's some suppression going on for sure. The reactions from one side and the other when I do stuff like that. Like I did that to a Limitless G10 unit, cracked it open, showed what was inside, pulled the pack out, load tested it, thermal imaging data, all that. Not much flat. I do it to a Titan unit, and then it's like people are freaking out.
The world explodes.
Yeah, I mean, I got fucking Brad over here taking old screenshots of messages, editing the shit, and then sending it to Cody Johnson, and then he's sharing his shit on Access Power web or Facebook page and all this crap. It's like, you really got to go that far. You got to reach that fucking hard. Why? I mean, it obviously disappeared pretty quick, but I mean, that's what you got to do. It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, that's for sure. It's going to make me want to do it more.
Brad, why you out there editing Photoshops, bro?
I mean, and think I not have the original messages? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know y'all got beef. I like Brad. He does some of the same stuff, on his YouTube. He did a lot for the community of everything. I know he gets a lot of hate, but I can't hate on it.
I don't have any beef, man. I don't.
Like now, if he's editing stuff to make it look like you said something different, I mean that's a totally different ball game.
Yeah. Like why? Okay.
Brad said he never said nothing to Cody.
I'm sure he didn't. I have the original message, but the why the day I take that battery apart, mind you, that battery was not easy to take apart in the least bit, not without destroying the thing, and it had to be usable when I was done with it. So, what am I going to like? Zinra Shu was the only person that even knew I had that battery, aside from a picture I posted of me holding it in my hand when it hadn't even been broke open yet. Yet 30 minutes later, you got Cody Johnson sharing a screenshot of a message. Like, where does this shit even come? Like, I'm going to talk to Cody? I don't even know that dude. He's not in our group. Right.
What were they nervous about? What did it matter that you were opening it up?
I don't know. I mean, the battery was built significantly better than the Limitless unit, right?
Right. The only thing it would have shown is how well they're built. Like I don't get. I
don't know. They got this idea that I've made it a priority to do nothing but trash them. Well, make your own damn bed. Make your own damn bed. I mean, my cards are on the table, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing. I don't have to. You can check the shit yourself. It's really not that difficult to do.
Whatever you open up, you didn't put it there. It was you just opened it up.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I had discussions with them when they first started to launch that unit, and I gave my feedback because I had skids at the time. And I had skids that were welded together and had them broke apart and I had them that were welded.
What was the feedback?
And the main concern we had was the thickness of the bussing and how to terminate the bussing on those cells, because it's not going to be easy to do. Mm-hmm. You can't spot weld to that. You can't spot weld aluminum that's that thick to those cells. You just can't do it. You need a special welding process. Something the OEMs, I mean, we tried to get China to do it, and you've seen what's in the G10 and how they terminated the bussing. The bussing in that thing was like pop can thin. It did really well for being that thin, but again, it's still pretty damn thin. Mm-hmm. The bussing in that XS unit was significantly thicker, and the welding was very impressive. I mean, the machine that did that was not cheap by any means. Mm-hmm. And I showed that. So I don't know why or what the point of all that damage control was. I don't know. And the odd part is I wasn't the one that was being blown up and messaged about it. It's other admins in our group that were, not me.
It's weird. Is it because it wasn't damage?
No.
It was just. I mean, I don't understand. That's the only thing I don't understand. I mean, there's nothing like. I mean, it wasn't like you were opening something that was like proprietary. Like it was, you knew. I mean, you could have just said what cells was in it and whatever, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand how it's okay. Like I got two of the old Limitless units, the big 100 amp hour ones, brought to me that were self-discharging real bad. And typically in those, it's there's a cell that's going bad in one row that's pulling the whole row down. So you charge it and let it sit, and then the damn thing self-discharges. Crack those open, get all the freaking expanding foam out of the damn thing, clean the bars up, pitch the cells that are bad, rearrange it without the cells that are bad, so there's still an even number, put the thing back together, put a new case on it, and send it.
Right.
What's the difference? I fail to understand what the issue is.
I don't know.
But
just repairing it, huh?
Yeah, pretty much keeping the guy from having to buy a new battery, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. What's so I mean, in your opinion, what's the are these pre-made batteries? Is there a need for them? There has to be a need for them because not everybody wants to bolt cells together, right?
I mean, yeah, it's not everybody can. I mean,
right.
The resources to do it, or the time to do it, or or they want to buy something they know that if there's a problem, they can at least make an attempt to send it back and get it replaced or repaired or whatever. I don't know how you would repair the Titan unit, but I mean, if that's what they want to do. I mean,
right. So you're that guy. What pre-made battery are you going to put in your vehicle right now? And why?
Nothing.
You have to choose one.
I'll put a North Star in it. I got North Stars in my truck still right now.
Oh my God. I used to have one of those North Star 125s, the big, dumb 100 and something pound ones.
Yeah.
I'll never go back. Two of those. They're tanks though. God, God, they were tanks, but I miss those days. I miss those days of AGMs. Just throwing in, what we had those, the NSB 90s, I think. Those were the G31 sizes.
Yeah.
Man, just chucking those in there and rolling. Don't care about nothing.
Yeah. We did those with the SMS 480s.
Oh my God. Yeah, those are the thin, tall ones.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
150 pounds.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. So there's no pre-made battery you're taking?
No. Not
Why?
lithium.
Why? Why not?
I discussed it. I don't need to. I got stuff piled up everywhere. If I need to make a battery, it's not all that difficult to get something.
Yeah, but you can't make a battery. You're one of the guys that can't one, and you're on a car audio website about to buy one. Which one you buying? You got to pick one. Go.
I can tell you, of all the batteries that I've been in and opened up, looked at, tested, the XS Power Titan was the best, most well built one. The 5S one, that's the only one I tested.
Have you messed with the JY one, the new one?
No, I've not had one of those in my possession. No.
Okay. No. I hear those, and that one and the Titan is like the race for the best pre-built, but I don't know nothing about lithium, so.
I've not had that one or the Limitless version or the one that looks like, whatever they got.
Right.
There was some discussion about me buying one and opening it up and whatnot, but I kind of axed that. Just want no part of it.
Right. All right, so you nothing pre-built. What's your the guy? This is the everyday guy. I think the everyday guy. He used to be like a 2,000 watter, but now he's like a 5,000 watter. So you got a 5,000 watt amp. You trying to power and just run it all day long. What's the setup? The best budget setup you're going with?
Budget. Budget's going to involve me building the thing, building it yourself, right?
Yeah, well, you can't. Yeah, right. A DIY guy. Yeah.
Let's see. right now, sale prices are getting kind of high. Like the C-Max and EH5s, EH4s, they're getting harder to find cheap. I'm not going to say they're getting harder to find, but they're harder to find at a lower price because everybody is hip to this stuff now. I personally try to avoid any cell that's imported in this country from China. I just don't want any part of it. I don't want no part of it. This somebody else wants to take that risk for that kind of money, they can have at it. I've played that game with KOK Power and a few of these other people, and it's not happening. The quality is very hit miss, and it's just not happening. I don't have any support from any one company, any car audio company, none. So, and I like to keep it.
You don't have a battery discount code?
Just message me and I can hook you up. Honestly, right now that I don't have a whole lot that I'm selling, to be honest with you. I don't even have a business license. So, and I don't have that because some stuff to do with my local and state governments that I want no part of. And I had intended to keep it that way. I don't know. Trying to find people to help, it's some people would rather sit around and hit dabs than work. And I don't want any part of that either. So,
what are we putting in?
I don't know, man. You're gonna have to.
I got 5,000 watts. I need a support. What are we putting in my car? Not me, but just the everyday guy.
It depends on.
I don't have an alternator.
You don't have an alternator? I got a 60 amp hour LiFo 4 unit right here that will.
I'm dropping that in, and we're 14.4. We're good.
You charge at 14.4. You can't charge over 14.8.
I like it.
And this 60 amp hour unit will sustain about 1,000 amps at 12.0 volts. So,
Jesus.
And do so on a stock alternator. Now, that stock alternator might live a day, might live a week, might live a year. I don't know. It just depends on the quality of that alternator.
Yeah, I need a 30-second run for my DB drag base race. That's all I need.
Yeah. These will do it pretty good. You can and it's got the SAE post, so you can drop on. Like I've been using Jim's bars, 5-spot SAE bars, and then machining off a little pocket or corner of it to clear the case on the battery. Dropping them on there and going.
Man, get him to make you something. Get on or him or message Jeff too. Project DB. Get him to make you something custom looking cool.
I've discussed it briefly with Mike at Coventry. If I'm gonna farm out any machine work, if I can't do it myself, it's gonna go to him. Mike's been really good to me in the past. I can't say the same for others, but he's been real good to me. There's some bar designs that I had because I was making bars myself, right? For the longest time, I just couldn't keep up with the demand. And I switched jobs, so then I don't have access to the same CNC anymore that I did then. That cuts like the one I got now. It's kind of a piece of shit, but he agreed that I can make that bar for you, that exact one for you, and not try to take it and put his logo on it and sell it. You know what I'm saying? So he has his own version of it, which is different than mine, which is great. Works out perfect. I can message him right now and say, I need this, this, and this. He said, you have a drawing? Yeah. Send him a drawing. Get it done. So, we talked about it. I don't know. It was one of them things where I kind of wanted to try to make my own bar for this because it's not really all that elaborate. I played with putting my own logo on the bars for a little while, and anymore I just don't. I don't know. I'll put my logo on the battery, a big sticker on the battery or something.
That's all that matters.
I don't really care about anything else about that point.
So what's your batteries you offer right now?
Right now, I don't have. I think I got some EH5 left. I might have enough EH5 cells and bars to build like 150, 160 amp hour unit. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got, 10 of these 60 amp hour LiFePO 4 units and 2 40 amp hour ones. I don't know. I got some odds and ends cells stacked up here. I got a whole bunch of 25 amp hour Panasonic cells I'm putting in a golf cart.
Is it just hard to get stuff now just because of the pandemic issues and stuff? Or you
it's
just
harder. It's harder. It's harder. The junkyards here in Ohio were not real. I mean, they were more laid back than other states, I guess, but it was still hard to get. And I'll be honest with you, I have not put a whole lot of effort into getting cells lately. If something comes up, I jump on them. But I mean, I got some money invested in these LiFePO 4 units. But right now, I really don't. I built a big EH4 unit for a guy last week. I finished up last week, shipped it last week, but that's about it. I don't know. The sell prices just aren't there. You've probably seen some of the batteries I build. They're using that poly. That stuff's not cheap.
Right.
That stuff was hard to get for a while too, especially when all these issues started happening in these cities. People burning stuff and tearing stuff up. There was a real high demand for polycarbonate Lexan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To replace all the. Wow, I didn't even realize that.
I don't know if they were making like shields with it or what, or I don't know what they were using it for, but it was a sheet a 1/4 inch, 4x8 sheet a 1/4 inch was taking like 8 to 12 weeks to get and was like $400 and something. So Jesus. Yeah, if it wasn't for my job and them throwing this stuff away like crazy, something bad I wouldn't be able to do. Not with what I was charging for. And it's a lot of work. I work 50 hours a week in a day job anyways. And it's like I work all day and then come home and have to work all day on batteries too.
Yeah.
And it's slowed down lately a lot, which has allowed me to get my race car done and get some packs built for my own cars. Like I got a truck that I've been trying to achieve 150s with 112 for 2 years. And it's been sitting. Like I don't even have the amp hooked up right now because I got no battery and I got stock battery and stuff. And the wife's car, we're trying to do one X8 V3. We had it up to a 142 this time last year on a completely stock charging system.
Wow.
And I it was still running 4-gauge wire too. Finally blew a fuse, and then I put 1/0 in it, and that's kind of where it's been. But it needs some work too. Just haven't had time to get none of that stuff done. I was hoping to get it done by Slamology this year.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I got a couple people that want their batteries recased. One's a C-Max unit, another is an EH5 unit. They just it's either in wood or in angle iron, and they want me to do one of my plastic cases on it. I mean, that's about it. It's slowed down. I kind of taken advantage of it. I don't need to do this. I don't do it obviously for the money, or I would try to expand shit. But it's more of a hobby than anything. So
yeah, that's a fun. I like hobbies like that. Just tinkering, I'm not smart. I'm not as smart to do all these fun little hobbies, but I like the idea of them, And I like to follow people that do them as well. It gives me motivation, but then I just don't do nothing with it. It's sad.
But I mean, it's just like anything else, man. Some people are into guns or building custom rifles or any of that stuff. Really, building fish tanks, whatever.
Anything with a passion, man. I'll love to just watch and see stuff or follow them. And you could tell some of the ones that are like passionate versus the ones that's just like in it to make the quick buck while it's there, you know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. And it's hard to. That's the main reason I try to stay out of. I mean, I'll jump in on some comments sometimes, and you'll see it too. And I'll get all the white knights jumping in on my stuff, but I don't get. There's no standard in this industry. Like there's no code. Everything's got to be built to. There's no. I mean, even the wiring and stuff like that. It's whoever can get it done the cleanest, or there's no standard. So people essentially just make up whatever they want to make up to justify their builds or whatnot, and that's fine. It's whatever. It don't matter to me, but. People say some interesting things. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just there's a lot of that out there right now. There was a lot for a while, and then some of them died off. Some of them took their spot, but they're still out there fighting the good fight.
I can tell you that I have no desire to be anybody in this, but what I'm doing now, and it's just putting batteries together, testing stuff, and sharing what I can find. If people have an issue with that, then that's whatever. It's fine with me. If they need to trash my stuff to sell stuff, whatever. But keep doing it. What they don't understand is every time they mention my name, I get 5 more people in our group. I get more people in my inbox wanting batteries. I mean, I would think that the batteries speak for themselves, but evidently not to some anyway. No.
Yeah. There's a lot of need for that. People just get the thing and test it. You don't see that a lot. You'll see people just throw it in and then like praise it to the mountaintops, but they don't really know why they're praising it. They just know it works in theirs, but that's it. They're not really getting to the nitty gritty testing stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to throw a battery in a vehicle, wire it in, and then turn the knob, turn the volume knob up, and watch the voltage.
Right.
That's one way to do some testing. Yeah, but what is that really telling you?
Right.
Even showing data with just one cell, capacity, resistance of just one battery, one cell. It's great information to have. What's that going to show you in a series? Right. So if you just got one cell, the data for that one cell is great, but
if that cell was A+ perfect, all right, but then what about the other 6 or 7 in your bank?
Right.
I know. I see a lot of that too. That I like it, but then some can consider that like cherry picking. They might have tested 6 before that were trash, but they found one that was really good, and they're showing that one. But who knows?
Yeah,
I like all testing.
If somebody's going to claim we start talking about internal resistance. Internal resistance, self-discharging capacitor, 3 main things. I will say things for judging lithium-ion battery. So, people start harping on resistance. So there's multiple ways to collect internal resistance on a lithium-ion battery. I use an iCharger X6. It checks it's AC internal resistance. So it uses a small AC ripple, 1,000 hertz, to check internal resistance. There's other ways to do it. Some claim they do it with a resistor. Well, okay, show that. Show people how you're doing that with a resistor, so other people can do it.
Right.
You got 100 YouTube videos, nothing but opinion. You don't show anything but opinion.
Right.
Show that how you're doing that, how you're checking resistance with a resistor. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand some people's logic there. So I'm not going to sit here and say that this iCharger is correct, but it's the same one I use for every battery. Some will say, "Oh, that can be recalibrated." yes, the iCharger can be recalibrated, but only the voltage. Only the voltage. Voltage input on the balance port and voltage in the power in. It's the only things that can be calibrated on. Cannot recalibrate the resistance. And if you're recalibrating resistance between each battery test, you're doing it wrong. It's just like tearing a scale. You know, you got to tear the scale to the same weight every single time. So if you're recalibrating resistance, you better make sure that whatever you're calibrating it to is the same every single time, or your data is going to be wrong.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just all kinds of interesting things going around.
Right. Yep. I hear you. I appreciate your time, bro. I'm gonna let you go. Before we go, shit on Brad Shulk right now. Go get him.
I ain't got nothing negative to say, man.
I need y'all to do like a battery off or something, like the king, like to determine the champ.
I don't know. I build and I test. My cards is on the table, man.
Nah, keep it up though, man. Don't let nobody. I know you're not, but don't let nobody silence you or get you to stop posting stuff like that. But the world needs that, man. The world needs to see stuff opened up and like just see what it is. You know, bad or good, good or bad. There it is. There it is. That's all you can do. Show it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely.
That's all I got. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah. So wait, you're still you're not building no more right now currently? Can people message you to get something going or?
Right now, I'm not. I don't have any plans to really build much other than a few here and there. If I don't really put any effort into promoting. So when I do have something, it's just I'll have it here, and then I might drop a hint in our group that I have something. But some people just if you're wanting something, you just have to message me, see what I got. We'll go from there. So.
There you go. Message David Dinn and see if he's got something you need.
Right.
He might not.
Yep.
That's it. Appreciate it, brother.
Hey, buddy. We'll see
you later. Yes, sir. And that's the lithium talk for the week. I don't know nothing about lithium. I love C-Max stuff. I don't care. I don't care if people's banana peeling it. It works for me. What I do, I would throw it in my car right now because I don't daily drive it. But I still I'm not scared of it. You know, like it's compressed. Are y'all team no balancer or team balancer? One's got a balancer and it's loud all the time and it's annoying. I hate it. Yeah, let's talk sound quality. So you know, like the perfect stage imaging is like center to the right, I believe. I don't know why though. Like if you're sitting at a stage and you want the best possible sound, wouldn't you sit directly in the middle? Stupid. Yeah, that's what I say. Everything. I know some people don't like some companies, but every failure I've seen, maybe like one or two, but most of them are user error. And that's what everything nowadays. The world, have y'all been seeing the shit that the SFBs have been taking? The world was not ready for full bridge on sub stuff and pushed to the limits like they were with Korean amps. Because like they're not going to take the same abuse Koreans are. I'm sorry. And that's the same with all this DIY lithium, bro. It's not for everybody. It's just not. It's not for everybody. And it seems like people are pushing it like it is. So that's going to it has been getting scary, but luckily no, I mean, I guess you can say a couple of major failures, but nobody got killed yet. So, you know, but we out of here. Yeah. Salt for the God wins. You just beat the snot out of those, dude. Appreciate y'all. Who else y'all want to see on here? Me? Just me, huh? Just me. Y'all want to have a whole Tuesday of just me talking gibberish? Like talking about, I don't know. Yeah, salts are amazing. I want one. I have an SFB right now in my Civic, but I want a salt. But I don't drive it enough to warrant the huge price of the upgrade. Next year, swears. Next year, I'm getting some kind of SUV. Definitely getting a. It is Wednesday, my bad. Shut up, Steven. You ain't never doing nothing, Steven. And I'm going to call it out every time I see it. Lying. And where's that Explorer? You should have sold me that Explorer. Next year, I'm getting something. I'm getting SUV. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. I really want a 06 to like 2010 Explorer. Because I think that's the same. I think everything is the same. It's just nicer insides as the third gen, which are dumb loud. But I think I want the 06 to 2010. I don't know. But we out here. We had Haddock on. We have all these nerds on. I don't know. All right, we could Tyler Slinker on. Tyler and Brad one day. Wait, what's the other guy that used to sell C-Max? Is that Tyler Slinkard? No, what's his name? Isn't it Tyler too? Yeah, it's a little different, but I think it's still. I think all the back is still the same. Like I think it still would be loud. Because I think 06 is like exactly the same, but just different outsides. I don't know. I could be wrong. What was the other guy that was selling C-Max also? It's not Tyler Slinkard. It's Tyler. Tyler who? Wasn't it Tyler? It felt like he always was like not shipping stuff. I'm sorry. Sorry if that's you, Slinkard. But it was another guy. Who was that? Yeah, the dash is a little different. The doors are a little different. You get you on, Zen. Me and you just talk about Explorers all day and how you never prove your scores ever. That's what we're going to do. I ain't putting you on the new list. You lie. Is that you, Slink? No, wait. Who? No, not McShane. McShane's not my friend. I think I just requested his friendship. He probably denied me. No, it wasn't Andrew. Yeah, that was who it was. Tim. Yeah, Brad. Tim, sorry. All right, sorry, Tyler. It wasn't you. You're still a piece of trash, though. But it was Tim. It was that guy, Tim. Bro, he had it, but he just kept. I felt like everybody had an issue with him, but he still keeps selling stuff. Like, what's going on? You don't have scores. No, it wasn't Jeremy. Bobby's a monster with C-Max. I feel like I don't know what you sell, Tyler, but Bobby would be my go-to just because he's local. Or eBay. We out here. Yeah. Free Tyler Slinker, bro. Just putting out there bad words like Photoshop and messages. Brad, did you really Photoshop a message? What's that about? Be honest. Did you send messages that David was opening up a Titan? Well, I don't have no problem with that. Like, that's really, if somebody opens it up and just shows what it is, cool. Like now, if he opened it up and like took a grinder to like the busing and stuff, like, all right, that's the problem. It is looking sexy. I'm not shaving it the rest of the year. This is January 1st, full clean shave to now, and I'm not shaving it to a whole year. We're just gonna see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Let me think. Would Brad do that? I don't think you don't have to. I don't think you would have did that. Bro, Indiana, check this out. Can anybody... I used to think Florida was the loudest. I said this before. I used to think Florida was the loudest state ever. Then Louisiana, I don't care what y'all think about kick scores. We was on the map for a while, but a lot of our big guys kind of like, me personally, just... We stopped doing it, even though I could come back and like squash everybody in the chat right now. Then I thought Texas, and then I thought North Carolina, but then y'all awoken a sleeping giant, which probably wasn't sleeping that much, but Indiana. I don't think nobody's touching Indiana right now. I don't think nobody's touching Indiana. Sam, Kenneth. Wait, is Kenneth Indiana or is he Kentucky? I'm going to claim him as Indiana. RP. Dante, Hank, Aaron, bruh. Man, fuck New Mexico. How about that, bruh? I'm joking. Chill out. I know the Munsons live there and they'll have me killed. I'm not going on Amish. But can we just all agree the West Coast does not matter? Does not matter. I'm sorry. Anything they do out there doesn't make it over here. It doesn't make it over here. Nobody matters in California except Meade and Gately. Who else? Who else could kill me that I just said that? I'm sorry. Get out of here. Nah, Missouri. Minnesota used to be loud for a while. Chris Russ, Anton Miller. Y'all had another guy too. Who else was that? Y'all had a couple of them up there. Yeah, Cali sucks. The Explorers are superior. Bro, let's just do this for like. We're just gonna do this for like till 10 o'clock. Y'all entertain me in the chat, and I'll like answer questions. Nevada. Bro, I just came in here and said Nevada. What? The fuck? It's like coming in here and saying like South Dakota is loud. Get out of here, dude. Where's Horner from? Is he in Indiana too? Slap. Yeah, Lenny. Is Lenny from Minnesota or is that Missouri? Lenny the Rocket. What about Texas? Is Carlos is in Texas? McCain? Yeah. Fuck. I don't know. I would love to see a full. Yeah, but that's one. That's one, Jeremy. You gotta have a squad. You gotta have a look. Y'all, the 10 loudest from the state averaged out. That's how we got to do it. That's all I could say. Minnesota. Oh shit. Horners in Minnesota. Right. Yeah. McCain is New Mexico. Yeah, 10. The top 10 averaged out. Like current though, not like years past. Nah, Minnesota would not win. I think Indiana got it. Indiana's got like 2 or 3 80s, huh? Maybe not. Maybe they do. Yeah, Zen's louder than Nevada. Or I step your game up. Nevada. Fuck out of here. Reno. Yeah, y'all got car shows in Reno. Chill out. What are you talking about? Who's got fucking I just said the average, Jeremy. Where's my 8s at, bitch? Thought you was coming down here. Who else is out there that's loud? Bro, the Midwest used to be loud, like Kansas and Oklahoma and them. But I don't know what happened. They like disappeared. Texas still up there. Texas got some sleeping monsters that's just waiting to be awoken. Is that a word? Nah. Florida died off. I don't know what happened, man. Florida used to have the goats, but then everybody caught up and they just like started doing like Chichero boxes and stuff. I'm sorry. I love that stuff, but just do it. That's what they do now. Yeah. But then Texas got Paul Galanos. Like that drops y'all down like 9 spots. Yeah, ripped him, man. Sorry. I know, Brad. I ain't saying it. Dude, Kansas had the goats. Wait. Kansas had doesn't Kansas have all the Schaefers? Terry Schaefer and all of them, or the McCools, or the where's fuck, what's his name? The guy that did Trunk against Terry. What's his name? Is it Kevin Kohler? Where's he from? Nah, I'm not saying it. No, I'm not saying. I wouldn't say that about nobody. Except you. You don't ship out your C-Max patterns. Dude, Mead is all-time GOAT and Gately is all-time GOAT. Whoever y'all got up, him and Gately stand for like 4 spots. Oh yeah, true now. I don't know. No, that's what I said before. NC for sure. I said that. Derek, Charlie Jockers is over there. If he wakens up his trunk beast. Oh damn, Missouri got that. Oof. Fade is a quitter. He gave up. This is more fun. I don't like my face this close though. Like, can I do? Not really feeling my face this close. Can I do this? Nope, none of these work. It's just my fat face. Missouri would be up there then. Kohler and Ulrich and the Schaefers. Damn, that's a squad there. It's not New Mexico. Stop saying that. Who's in New Mexico currently? Kohler is a god. He's Trunk god. I think he was freaking Explorer god for a while too. Kevin Kohler. And I guess his wife runs it now, or his daughter. I'm sorry. I do not keep up on those. Is Terry from North Carolina too? Or is Terry from Virginia? Man, I don't know. Me and Fade's gonna battle 12-volt talk one day too for loudness. We'll dominate them. We will drag them. Man, Munson, what's the last 70s Munson's did? And the other Munson is in North Carolina, so he's counting for them. His wife, all right. All right, DC. I thought he was from North Carolina. Well, they don't got nothing in except for him. Who's talking a bunch of smack? Nah, because they don't, G-Man, they don't have, like, I don't want to classify it like that. Just your top. You could probably do top 5 walls, because I know there's probably going to be a ton of guys that have walls, just like get that average way up. Top 5 walls and top 5 no walls. I would do that. Not trunk. Not really. Mark, you seen that stash I had in the front of my yard the other day? You saw them stashes of boxes? Just loud, bruh. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know any of them guys, Steven. North Carolina, this is what it is going to be. We're going to do it one day, too. I want to do a tier list. I want to do a tier list of states by loudness. Like last 10 years, I'll give it. Not just currently. Last 10 years. No. Indiana's no walls, bro. Hank and Bud and Sam. Right there. That average right there is like 69, maybe. That's it. Mark, you should have seen these old ladies. I got a picture. I'm gonna post it on Facebook tomorrow. I put a bunch of my old boxes that was just under my patio out to the front for trash. These old ladies passed by and like took like 3 of them. I'm like, bro, they's about to be banging. Millard, yeah, he's out there. Who's in No Wall in New Mexico? You counting the Munsons? Yeah, I don't know. I think Indiana. I don't think anybody's touching Indiana No Wall. Just right there. I mean, there's probably a louder one than that. But Hank, I'll do Hank, Bud and Shannon's Panda, and then Sam Dunn. He does. That's a 60. That's the lowest. There's probably another guy louder than him, but I'll just throw that in there. So 65. Fucking Bud's. What is Bud? Well, actually, Bud doesn't. He doesn't do peak, but he could. I mean, I said this before. Stephen, you've got designs. You probably got the loudest designs in your stash, but that's it. We do have more viewers than now. Y'all just like me. That's what it is. Y'all like my voice. I have to pick up my kids, but like they can fuck off, right? For my mom gets mad at them. Yeah, nobody's worried about me. I always think of this like I've been thinking about the Veach versus the Munson for the longest, but I don't want to Mick. Oh, I'm tired of Mick. What about where's man, what's that guy's name now? The guy with used to have the Jeep. The Jeep with the 1212 DCs. He's over in West Coast too. What's his name? He comes and breaks the internet once a year and then like disappears. Damn it, what's his name? I know it's right on the tip of my tongue. He has the white Jeep with the 1212. Well, I don't know what he's got now. He used to have 1212 DCs. Yeah, Blake Hunt. Blake Hunt was nasty. They were ridiculous in Mecca. What Fusion? Who got a Fusion, bro? McMahon. Yeah. Singer was ridiculous. No, not Holt. The other guy. No. Will Holt's got the Jeep still, but he's in North Carolina. Kevin? Is it Kevin something? I keep saying Kevin. What's his name? Damn. He did the freaking hair trick with the girl like 6 feet out his car blowing. He used to have 1212s. I think he redid it to like 812s or 612s. No, he didn't have an Astro van. It was a white Jeep. Damn. What the fuck is his name? Man, yeah, Millard would be ridiculous. McCain would be ridiculous. Is it Keith? Keith Miller. Got it. Nailed it without y'all fuckers. I'm smarter than all of y'all. Keith Miller. I want to say he's in Cali or Arizona or Nevada, one of them, didn't he? He was doing 66s, bro. I am drunk. You know what's funny? I don't drink ever. Keith Miller. He comes and breaks the internet once a year. Let me put this in my face. He comes and breaks the internet once a year and then like rebuilds the entire thing. It's so annoying. Him and another guy kept always say that did that. But Will Holt was nasty too. With his no wall, I don't like walls no more. I'm tired of him. But his no wall, the 9 ZV5s or something, that was ridiculous. But we got to get out of here. Appreciate y'all staying around with me. 35 of y'all. Is he there? I just be putting states on people that got no business doing. Shut up, Zen. Let me block that fucking comment. He's from Arizona. Why does he run DC? I don't know anybody past like New Mexico that runs DC. Nothing against it, but I just do not see it out here. That's one of the one companies like I've never had them, and it pisses me off. I want it. I just don't have it. Shut up, Herman. You got vans. Yeah, this is a better. Honestly, this is a better show without nobody, just me and now no Fade. Fade would just be like, "Oh, you're so super," and I got glasses. Nah, that wasn't a really good impression of him. But all right, we're getting out of here, man. I gotta go give my kids change diapers and shit. Yeah, Jeremy, is that pending for me? Like, I'll pay you right now. I know. I want DCs. Jeremy's got me some DCs right now. They do, and I don't like it. DC, like, they're old stuff. Like, remember Thor's hammer? Yeah, Faye'd be like, look, I know y'all want to talk about cool shit and let Skip run the show, but we really need to get into phase time alignment, phase angle. Are your tweeters in phase? Shut up. I know. I really like the which one was it? It wasn't the level 5 and it wasn't the level 4. Was it the XL? The DC XL? I don't know what it is. I don't know where it was on the range. Or is it a 4XL? Something like that. I always wanted that one. I used to love them old logos with like the big raised DC. Now they just got regular stuff. Come on, Rusty. We gotta have Rusty on here too. He ain't been on. He's been ducking us. Yeah, direct copies. Remember that? Thor was running Rockville. We gotta get Thor's. Wait. Yeah. Who had those? Remember that? All right, XL. That's what it was. Bruh, if nobody don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube. Hopefully it's still on YouTube right now. Look up Thor's hammer. DC level 5 or 10. Yeah, I always wanted the XLs. You know what else I always wanted the even though they're not around anymore, RD audio. I always wanted and I don't even know if they came out eventually. I'm on a rant, but y'all love my rants. It was like the X Max or the X. It might have been XL too, but it was like it wasn't what they used to call them, RD audio heavyweights, and the one below that though was like, fuck. I'm sorry. I don't know. Thor is the GOAT. 210s. Man, he was doing like 50s legal. He used to have the motor was bigger than the actual basket. So he had to have some kind of 2-piece mounting ring to mount it to them. Like, it was goaty. Y'all need to look it up. It was amazing. That's all I could say. And he had two Stenson, was it 14Ks on each or something crazy? Dude, just sending those little shits. I guess this is before like Recones was a thing. I don't know, but he used to just tape his surrounds forever. No, he doesn't, Steve. He lies. He cheats. He was doing like 51s legal and like 51.4s in the kick, maybe. Out of a big ass Grand Prix trunk. And he started Trunk Wall. Shut up, John. You love it, don't you? You love the new Thors coming out. Love Hammer. I would like to see him like now, like compact 10s in that same setup. I don't know. What y'all think about the new V3s? I will be buying everybody's V2s, so y'all better be selling them at a cheap price because I ain't paying new. But we out of here. We're going to try to do more. And maybe I'll just do it. If Frey can't do it some weeks, I'll just come on here and y'all just be like, we just out here, you know? We just talk about old times or talk about what y'all been doing. And I just, me in the chat. That's the guest host, the chat. Unless people want to join me. But I don't like if people join me because then, like, I can't just rant like this. Unless it's Zen. Then he just lets me do what I do. And that's it. We're out of here. Oh, yeah. The new V3 should be musical, too. I heard some rumors. They're going to make some. Because right now you can't. You can only burp. But they will be musical. Steve Herman, I know you're going to say, oh, I can do music with my V2. You can't. You can't, bitch. You can't. Stop lying. We out of here. Thank y'all for watching me. The support is awesome. #1 rated podcast, car audio podcast in the world. Joe Rogan by day, by night, by all.